Welcome back to RidezoneBikes, your go-to destination for in-depth motorcycle reviews, performance breakdowns, and two-wheel news from around the globe. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most anticipated cruiser bikes of the year, the 2025 Honda Rebel 1100. Honda's Rebel lineup has long been a bridge between the approachable and the powerful, and with this latest update to the Rebel 1100, Honda continues to redefine what it means to ride a cruiser in the modern age. Whether you're a weekend warrior or an everyday commuter, the 2025 Rebel 1100 packs just the right amount of tech, comfort, and raw personality. So, let's get into it. The Rebel 1100 first made waves when it debuted a few years ago, standing out as a heavyweight sibling to the Rebel 300 and 500. What made it remarkable back then was the use of Honda's Africa Twin-derived engine in a cruiser frame. Now, in 2025, Honda is refining that concept further. The 2025 Rebel 1100 is not just a rehash of last year's Model A, it's a subtle evolution that brings new technology, better comfort, and slight design tweaks that make a noticeable difference both visually and in how the bike handles on the road. Let's start with the heart of the machine, the engine. The 2025 Rebel 1100 is powered by a 1083cc liquid-cooled, parallel twin engine, the same platform we saw on the CRF 1100L Africa Twin, but tuned specifically for cruiser characteristics. The result is a smoother torque delivery, a deeper growl from the exhaust, and a bike that's both responsive and manageable at lower RPMs. It produces around 85 horsepower and about 72 pounds-feet of torque, giving it enough grunt to satisfy experienced riders while still being tame enough for newer ones transitioning into the big bike category. One standout feature that continues to define the Rebel 1100 is Honda's dual-clutch transmission, DCT. A system you either love or you learn to love. For 2025, the DCT has been further refined for smoother shifts, especially in urban traffic and tight twisties. There's also a traditional 6-speed manual version available, which has its own fan base. This dual offering ensures that the Rebel 1100 appeals to a broader range of riders. Whether you're someone who enjoys the involvement of shifting gears manually or prefers the ease and convenience of an automatic experience. When it comes to performance, the 2025 model feels solid and planted. The chassis remains a steel tube frame, but it's been slightly updated for better weight distribution and improved handling. Combined with a low center of gravity and a relatively light curb weight of just under 500 pounds, the Rebel 1100 handles with confidence in corners and stability at high speeds. Front suspension is provided by 43mm conventional forks, while the rear gets twin piggyback shocks, both offering sufficient damping for comfort on long rides without compromising responsiveness. Ground clearance is adequate for a cruiser, though don't expect to be carving up mountain passes like a sport bike. The electronics package is where the 2025 Rebel 1100 makes significant gains. You now get 4 ride modes: Standard, Rain, Sport, and a custom user mode, all of which can be toggled via an updated handlebar control system and displayed on the revised LCD display, now slightly brighter and easier to read under direct sunlight. Each mode adjusts throttle response, traction control intervention, engine braking, and shifting patterns on the DCT version. There's also Honda Selectable Torque Control, HSTC, and Wheelie Control, which is a surprising but welcome inclusion on a cruiser. Now, let's talk about design because looks matter, especially in the cruiser world. The 2025 Honda Rebel 1100 retains its neo-retro, stripped-down aesthetic, but there are a few tweaks worth noting. Honda has given the bike a slightly more muscular look with thicker fork boots, a new LED headlight design, and blackout engine finishes that give it a meaner, more aggressive tone. The exhaust has also been redesigned for a more refined sound and cleaner profile. Available colors for 2025 include matte jeans blue metallic, gunmetal black metallic, and the standout Bordeaux red, which gives the Rebel a premium, eye-catching finish. Ergonomically, the bike remains extremely rider-friendly. The seat height is a very approachable 27.5 inches, making flat footing easy even for shorter riders. The seat itself has been upgraded with new padding, offering better comfort over long distances. The foot-peg position remains slightly forward, but not so much that it compromises control. Handlebar placement is natural, and wind buffeting is kept to a minimum thanks to a new optional fly screen offered as part of Honda's accessory package. Speaking of accessories, Honda is pushing customization hard with the 2025 Rebel 1100. You can choose from several factory options including saddlebags, rear racks, backrests, fairings, and even heated grips. There's a new touring package that includes all the long-haul essentials, and a street package aimed at urban riders with a sportier aesthetic. This level of modularity means the Rebel 1100 can easily transform from a laid-back cruiser to a weekend touring machine. Fuel economy remains respectable, hovering around 45 to 50 miles per gallon, depending on your riding style and whether you're on the DCT or manual model. The 3.6-gallon fuel tank offers a practical range for both commuting and weekend rides, though long-distance tourers may wish for a bit more capacity. Still, it's more than sufficient for the average rider. Braking is handled by a single front 330mm disc with a radial mount for piston caliper, and a 256mm rear disc, both backed by ABS as standard. The stopping power is strong and confidence-inspiring, especially considering the bike's cruiser DNA. While some may wish for dual front discs for added bite, the setup here is more than adequate for the kind of riding this bike is built for. As for price, Honda has done a good job keeping the Rebel 1100 competitively positioned. The base manual transmission version starts at $10,099, while the DCT version comes in at $10,899. When you compare this to competitors in the same category, think Indian Scout, Harley-Davidson Nightster, or even Yamaha's Bolt, the Rebel stands out for its blend of modern tech, performance, and reliability. It also undercuts many of its rivals on pricing, especially when factoring in the DCT and the level of refinement. So, what really sets the 2025 Rebel 1100 apart? In a word, balance. It balances old-school cruiser vibes with new-age technology. It balances power with manageability. It offers both simplicity and sophistication, giving newer riders a bike they can grow into, and experienced riders a bike that doesn't feel like a compromise. And with the DCT, it opens up motorcycling to those who may not be comfortable with a clutch, which is a unique selling point in a segment that typically leans toward tradition. In a world where cruisers can sometimes feel like rolling antiques or overpriced lifestyle statements, the Rebel 1100 feels grounded. It's fun, it's fast, and most importantly, it's usable. It's a bike that wants to be ridden every day, not just polished in a garage. And while it might not have the thunderous roar of a V-twin Harley or the boutique styling of custom bobber, it offers something arguably more important: consistency, quality, and the kind of engineering Honda is famous for. To wrap things up, if you're in the market for a modern cruiser that won't break the bank, comes with cutting-edge technology, and offers real-world performance with just the right amount of edge, the 2025 Honda Rebel 1100 should be at the top of your test ride list. It's approachable without being boring, advanced without being intimidating, and customizable without being complicated. Honda has once again hit the sweet spot, and the Rebel 1100 continues to prove why it's one of the most exciting bikes in its class. That's it for today's review, riders. If you enjoyed this step dive into the 2025 Honda Rebel 1100, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to RidezoneBikes. Let us know what you think of the Rebel 1100 in the comments. Is this your next bike, or do you have your eye on something else this year? Until next time, ride safe, ride smart, and keep the rubber side down.